the breaks, the weird curling, the god-awful yellow. Let's just chop them off and start from scratch. What? What? Hey you guys, it's me, Jen, with SuperChic. I want to thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to show our nails who's the boss by wrangling them back into gorgeousness. But before we move on to our exciting revamp adventure, if you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of all my new upcoming videos. You know, the little bell where you get a notification of a new video? And there's hidden giveaways? What? What do you mean a hidden giveaway? It's hiding. Stick around because I'll be explaining this later in this video. We've all been there. You finally grew out your nails, you shaped them perfectly, and bam, all of a sudden, your hard work just goes down. Okay, let's get down to business. Just look at this hot mess. They're so out of control and horrible, I almost didn't want to show you guys. They're so embarrassing. But then I said to myself, we've all been there at one time or another. So I decided to share this real problem with you. That way we can go through it together. Go through the steps together in transforming our real life nail catastrophe into the gorgeous nails that consume our social media accounts. I mean, come on, when do we ever actually see behind the scenes real nails breaking, the real horrible disasters that are hideous? When do we ever get to see the ratchet, the real ratchet nails that lie beneath all the coats of polish? Well, sometimes we do, but mostly we don't. So here's the plan. We're going to start off first and foremost with the most difficult decision, whether or not to whack them all off. Then choosing a practical shape given the whole entire circumstance, removing all the hideous yellow stains, and finishing up with a daily care routine. First, we're going to remove any remaining nail polish with nail polish remover and a soft cotton ball or cotton pad. By the way, you guys, sometimes it's a chemical reaction when your nails turn yellow. If you're using certain chemicals and not wearing gloves, it can have a reaction with the chemicals in the polish. So it can cause yellowing, sometimes even a brownish tint. So just be aware of that sometimes it may not be your top coat or your polish. It could be the chemical, like if you're working with bleach or other cleaners without wearing gloves. Okay, looks like I got pretty much all of it off. Now we're going to soak our brittle ratchet nails in a dish of warm water. I like to add a couple drops of oil. This is actually avocado oil. It's very hydrating for about 3 minutes or so. We need to soak and soften them prior to clipping to avoid splitting. If they're left brittle and then you attempt to cut them, sometimes they split and then it'll cause the nails to break further later. Oh my gosh, here comes the big decision. How should I cut them off? Alright, so I have debated this. Let's look at the situation here. So there's a straight edge here and then it starts to veer off toward the center here. And the same thing has happened on my pointer finger, and the middle finger has really done it bad. You can see that really well. These are still really good. I hate to trim those down, except they are getting more dry and brittle at the ends. I've made a big mistake. The last month or so, I've been using pure acetone while I've been testing out some of my new polishes and putting on polish, taking them off. Really, it's not a good idea to use polish remover, especially pure acetone, more than maybe once a week. So I'm gonna have to kind of start from scratch with my nails now. Finally, the big decision. I could round them here, or I could do a point and make them into pointed shapes, or I could do like a coffin shape, because then I could have the angle and then squared off at the end, but it'll be tapered. But given the situation, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but this middle nail is clear at the end. It's very thin. So if I were to do a point, or if I were to do a coffin shape, these are gonna be very weak at the ends. So I'm taking that into consideration. So I've decided to go square, and I'm just gonna cut them down. Not gonna be completely down to the nubs, but they're gonna be fairly short. So here goes nothing. I'm kind of sad because it's taken me a while to grow these out. Here I go. Right here where the straight edge is, right where the straight edge ends and it starts to curve, that's where I'm gonna cut it straight across. So here I go. I might cut a little bit off first, a little shy of where I want to go. A little bit more. That's pretty good. Go too short than what you want in the beginning, you can't get it back. So be conservative when you're cutting. All right, so here I go with the next one. Oh, goodbye, little nail. There. That was a quick trim. There's that one. Not too bad, huh? I still have some nail left. Okay, now the middle one. Goodbye. This one is like, this one's dreadful. Okay. It's a little wide looking for my preference. I'm gonna have to really shape that one. But look, already a lot of that yellow is off. They're looking healthier already. Now this one I'm just doing to match the others. Now I could tell when I did that one, that was a healthier nail. It didn't snap when I cut it. You could tell it was softer and more pliable. And that's the key to not breaking your nails, is to keep them conditioned and pliable. So that way if you do hit them into something, they're not so apt to just crack right off. They have a little bit of give. You guys probably noticed the snap on the other ones. This one probably isn't going to snap either because it's in better condition. Oh, it snapped a little bit. It looks pretty good. All right, what do you guys think? Now, time for shaping. So what you'll want to do is get a couple files, maybe one that's got several sides to it. This one's more coarse, lesser coarse, then even finer, and this is like a silicone. I really love to finish the edges of my nails with this. It keeps all the snags down. So this is a coarser grit. It's still not too coarse, but what you'll want to do is go in one direction on the sides of your nails and just shape them according to your liking. So I'm going to just work quickly through that. You don't want to do this. That is bad. Would you do that to your nail? That's what you're doing to your nail, but it's so microscopic you have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea. It's so microscopic. So microscopic. Oops, I seesawed a little bit. I told you guys not to seesaw. Don't seesaw. You want to go from the outer edge inward, and then from the back of the nail forward on the sides. And then if you want to take a little bit of the rough edges off the corners, go ahead and do that, because sometimes they're a little bit sharp if you just leave them totally square. All right, so I'm gonna work on these for a little bit and I'll be back. Okay, we're back. I got them basically the shape I want them. And so the next step is going to be to buff off the tops, remove the ridges, smooth the nail, and then shine the nail. And that should get a lot of the yellow off of there. And then I have something else to do if the yellow doesn't come off. And wet sanding is fine. It helps to get them smoother and doesn't rough up the nails so much. Wow, look at that. A lot of the yellow is already gone. I'm gonna have pure nails again. They're gonna be like virgins. Virgin nail beds. Wow, look at that one. See the difference between that one and that one and that one? And I'm getting excited. Don't rub too hard, be gentle, do it lightly. Make sure they're moist and you have the oils on them when you're buffing. Looking better. Keep in mind, you guys, too, if you have less than desired polish wear time, it can have a lot to do with your own nails, the condition they're in. So if they've got ridges and if they're curling excessively and you're in chemicals a lot, the condition of your nails alone can be what the problem is, because I never had any problem keeping polish on until the last month. This one and this one specifically were curling so much at the ends that it was curling away from the polish that was on them. And then the more you're in water, oh my gosh, you guys, try to pay attention. When you're in water, your nails flatten out considerably. They get a little bit flatter this way. If you look at the nail curve, they'll be flatter. As they dry, they curl more. So that shows you right there, if you're in water a lot, they're constantly curling from being dry later and then flattening out and then curling and flattening out, and then they continue to do the same thing, and that is another big reason why your polish will chip. So it's critical to use a good base coat and a top coat, but even with that, if your nails are not in good condition, it's really going to be hard to get long wear time. With the buffer, it doesn't really matter going back and forth seesawing because it's not gouging into your nails. Here's the next step I was talking about. Dawn dish soap. The little ducky's gonna help me get my yellow off. I put a little bit of Dawn on each of my nails. You might think it's crazy, but it works. All right, and then you sprinkle a little bit of baking soda on each nail. Just rub the Dawn into your nails with the baking soda and let it sit there. And you can even get under your nail because sometimes your nails are stained underneath. You're looking so much better. Okay, we're back and we're on to the last step. Now we're ready for conditioning. You're gonna wanna rinse well after the Dawn and the baking soda. When you get your nails hydrated, they're soft and the oils will absorb quickly into them. So you should do this every day. If you have naked nails like me right now, you'll want to clean off the tops of your nail beds with rubbing alcohol prior to polishing them. Otherwise, if you leave the oils on top of your nail beds, then your polish will not adhere and you'll get a lot of chipping. After you soak them, you will want to condition them more. Just put a drop on each one. Where people forget to moisturize is under their nail. So what you'll want to do is go under the free edge right here to get it all hydrated and conditioned under there. That keeps them from curling too. And then we're about done, you guys. Hopefully this has helped you to get your nails back into shape. They cleaned up pretty good, didn't they? And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to measure them because there's a big unknown of how fast nails actually grow. From my cuticle to the edge, the free edge, and then on my next video I'm going to tell you how long they've grown since then. I have a feeling my nails grow about 3 to 4 maybe 4 millimeters, 4 to 5 millimeters a month. Does that sound like a lot? Now my next step is to bring it on base coat and make sure I don't miss that every day. Gotta be good, gotta remember to do it. Taking off, putting on new polish 10 times a day, I still gotta put on that base coat. Got to do it. So I decided to do a little bit more buffing and whitening with the Dawn and baking soda while I was off camera, and I'm really pleased with the results. What do you guys think? They're a lot better looking, aren't they? They look so fresh and clean now. This just about wraps up today's video, other than keep these 3 most important things with you at all times. A nail file, so you can fix a snag immediately before it becomes a disaster. Cuticle oil or nail oil to keep nails hydrated as needed. And cuticle nippers to be able to snip off a snag of a hangnail at any given point. If you're like me, you'll play with it and then you'll end up tearing it till you have a bloody mess. Now, I'd like to know what you do to fix your ratchet nail mess. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what you would do. And here's the surprise. From all the comments, I'm going to choose a random winner for a $25 gift card to SuperChic Lacquer, my shop. This is the hidden giveaway. Somewhere in the course of my videos, I'm going to select a winner at random. Be sure you're subscribed to be eligible. Hit that subscribe button. Good news, the giveaway is open to US and international. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Okay guys, I said I was gonna do it, so let's do it. I have a measuring tape here. I'm gonna go on millimeter side. From the cuticle to the free edge exactly. Can you see that? 13 millimeters. I'm gonna call it 14 millimeters. Alrighty, so we'll see in a couple weeks or a month how long it's grown, providing I haven't broken it. Alrighty. Talk to you later. Bye. No more ratchet nails. No more ratchet nails.